So Joe Rogan recently had a podcast with Wikipedia Dave Smith, and it just went as expected. You know, the entire time Joe Rogan was doing his usual thing, spewing out misinformation, fear-mongering, you know, spewing out these right-wing narrative standing points that are just played out by now. And, you know, in this episode, I'm going to play the role of Jamie, because apparently Jamie doesn't fact-check Joe Rogan anymore.
How about, what's his name, Lutnick? Yeah, how about that one?
I mean, that interview clip where he's like, let me tell you something. I met Jeffrey Epstein that one time. He had a massage table. He said they were sex massage tables. I went right back to my wife and I said, honey, we are never hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein again. And that is that, you know?
Is
like,
that really the quote?
Oh, dude.
I haven't seen that.
I don't know if it's verbatim, but that is the exact spirit of it.
Probably be pretty verbatim.
Oh,
let's listen to it.
Listen to it.
We'll
I'm
find it.
very, very close to exactly what he said.
Okay.
Let me get this one again. What was this one?
Lutnick interview about Epstein.
Okay.
Few moments later.
Here it is.
Yeah.
No, this is the one that says he's the greatest blackmailer ever.
Which quote am I trying to find? That?
Yeah, try to explain it to him.
It was, let me see the keywords that would downplay his relationship with him. That might be it.
There was something on the other thing, but I don't know what that
What does he do?
He was always like a money finance guy. I think he used to work for CNBC, if I'm correct.
In this administration, the wolves have taken over the hen house.
Yeah, they sure have. This is
2 hours later.
Now this is from recently.
So
this is from this year.
I did find an article that I don't even know what this website is, though. I don't know if
His old firm did not, in fact, profit from the Supreme Court tariff ruling.
How can you not find the Lutnick interview? People in the comment sections were torching Jamie for this. I'm just like, dude, it takes the average buffoon like me 30 seconds to find it on YouTube. You know, this shows me that Jamie's also compromised as well. Of course he is. We see freaking Toll Mormon over here calling freaking Trump every single week. And no offense to Jamie. The fact that Jamie can't find it, even though he's 10 times smarter than me, is fucking insane. It just shows where this state propaganda show is right now. But yeah, man, in this video, I'm going to show you some clips. I'm going to debunk them. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section. Then debunk me. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it.
Someone told me that this is a very credible source that I can't reveal what the source is. But they told me that there are people in this country, and not just a few, but many, many, that are affiliated with terrorist organizations, directly affiliated, but they've applied for asylum. And because they've applied for asylum, you can't deport them until they go through the entire process.
That is wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So there's people that are known, at least terrorist sympathizers. They're in direct communication with terrorist networks. They've done things with terrorist networks, and they've applied for asylum. So you have to go through this long-ass process through the legal system, and it's up to a judge whether or not this person, who may or may not be a part of a fucking sleeper cell, gets to stay in America.
So this is the main one that really got me, because it's just factually incorrect. Complete fear-mongering from Joe Rogan. Who the fuck told him? Stephen Miller? I work in immigration, so I have a good inside knowledge on this, but never mind my knowledge. I'm going to show you published knowledge. So first things first, if he's saying that terrorists are here and they're applying for asylum, especially during this climate, there is no freaking way that a terrorist is going to be granted asylum by the immigration judge, especially during a Trump admin. For those who don't know, if you're applying for asylum, the crux of it is the corroborating evidence that you're going to submit along with your 589 asylum application. That could include letters of support, declarations, you know what I mean, newspaper articles detailing to your asylum claim. It includes any single evidence that proves your asylum claim. The fact that he's over here saying that terrorists are going to provide corroborating evidence in order, like, what evidence is a terrorist going to get? You know, even if it is political asylum, they have to have strong corroborating evidence for the judge to even sniff at adjudicating this application. A terrorist doesn't have that. And also, especially in this admin, you know, as of right now, asylum seekers are only winning 19.2% of their cases. You know what I mean? During Biden, it was actually cut down in half, because in Biden, it was actually around 38%. But you see this right here, especially during the Trump admin, you know, less than 1 in 5 asylum cases are actually being approved. and it's only dwindling as we speak. And also another big problem is that immigration judges are being fired. Usually most of them are pro-immigrant judges who have a background of approving asylum claims. Those are getting fired and being replaced with Trump-appointed judges who are obviously more leaning conservatively and who won't actually approve asylum claims. Also here, in general, from last year, about 98 of approximately 700 immigration judges were released last year. Let that sink in. They are over here doing a complete revamp of the immigration judges, and they're all being replaced by conservative judges who will not grant asylum cases. There's been also many reports of judges being fired mid-hearing, and they're being fired mainly because they're actually leaning towards granting asylum to a person. Like, being fired mid-hearing is insane. And on top of that, if you're applying affirmatively with USCIS asylum claims, you will get interviewed. Your 589 interview, basically deciding if they're going to adjudicate or refer your case to immigration courts within like 3 weeks. So like what the Trump admin right now is doing is they are blazing through all these new asylum claims. They are scheduling them for quick interview just so that they can deny them and send them to immigration court proceedings. So Joel's over here telling me that terrorists are here applying for asylum right now. If they apply for asylum, they will be up for an interview within 3 weeks, and then they'll be placed to immigration court proceedings to get them deported. Trump right now is blazing through all these new asylum claims. So how is a terrorist, first off, going to escape a 589 interview? How is a terrorist going to provide corroborating evidence? How is a terrorist going to win an asylum claim that's only being won at a 90% rate right now in the entire country? Asylum ain't it anymore. It's not as like, people would apply asylum just to get the work permit. Right now, it's not it. Yeah, it's just not it anymore. Political asylum, Venezuela, it's going to be referred to immigration court. Like, it's not it anymore. And Joe's going to sit here and spew this fear-mongering point.
How is she lying us into this war?
So,
because that's a big statement.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's true. So last summer, so Tulsi Gabbard had given her, as the Director of National Intelligence does every year, they give their annual threat assessment. Then she testified before Congress about it. And it was very clear in her annual threat assessment that Iran was not attempting to build nuclear weapons.
Right, but how much do you actually know about enriching uranium and what it takes to turn into a bomb?
This is the right tweet.
Let's read what she says.
Sure,
New
sure.
intelligence.
This is like saying the president determines the weather or something like that.
But you're taking her words out of context. She's saying something that's factually correct. As our commander-in-chief, he is responsible for determining what is and is not an imminent threat. That is true. And whether or not to take action he deems necessary to protect the safety and security of our troops, the American people, and our country. That's just an actual fact.
Okay, yes, fair enough. But when she testified before Congress, they asked her point blank a bunch of times about this. And then she goes, that's not my job to determine what's an imminent threat. That's the job of the president. And if he says it is, then it is.
Okay, so look at this here. Initially, she's contradicting Trump, saying that Iran did not rebuild after the 2025 strikes. Contradicting Trump. So this is also from Time Magazine. So she's saying that. Now, what you're saying that she said earlier was a lie is not a lie, dude, because that is actually
I wasn't referring to that.
I understand. But you did say that was a lie. What she said was a lie.
Okay, fair enough. That was not a lie. It's
factually actually correct. And if you're in a position like she's in, where you've got that guy breathing down your neck and you're forced to make a statement, you've got to tread very carefully on this tightrope that you're walking.
Okay, fine. But let's just say, hypothetically, that you know for a fact that Iran did not pose an imminent threat. Right. And then that's your answer when you're asked if they did. Fine. It's not a lie.
Joe really believes that Iran was close to their nuclear weapons, yet the previous Ayatollah was like completely against it. But now with this bombing, it has made Iran much more radical, that they're actually now wanting to develop nuclear weapons. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, what was Operation Midnight Hammer last year for? You know what I mean? This is from the White House saying basically we obliterated the entire nuclear facilities in Iran. And mind you, Joe at this time was actually supporting the 12-day war last year. He was supporting it. Also, Joe said he's not left, right? Like that. What are we talking about, bro? Even Perplexity, his own AI sponsor, says that this man is right-wing.
Flashback.
Joe Rogan, known for spreading misinformation in his podcast. Enter. Yes, the Joe Rogan and the Joe Rogan Experience have been widely criticized and documented as spreading misinformation on several topics, including public health and climate change. First things first, says Perplexity right here. Mixed factual reliability, media bias, fact check rates Rogan's podcast as right-center biased with mixed factual reporting. and if you're right-wing, okay, fine, but respect to it. But don't play both sides. Don't fence it, which is what Joe Rogan does. Clearly, he's right-wing.
Here's the thing. Like, first of all, America is great. Make America greater, I'm down. But make America great again, and then it becomes a movement of a bunch of fucking dorks. Because a lot of them are dorks. A lot of them, these really weird, fucking uninteresting, unintelligent people that have got something they cling to. And there's a lot of people that are just real, genuine patriots. And they're all lumped into this one group, and you got to accept the dorks too. Fuck that.
Yeah.
He is fence sitting so bad. He is perching on that fence. I just can't with him, dude. He's a Trump puppet. Watch him push back on all these critiques that Dave Smith has of the Trump admin. That's all he's doing, pushing back.
Except people that are masked, that don't have any paperwork, that don't have a warrant on the streets in militarized situations. Because if they're using it for this, which you agree to, that opens up the door for them to use it because you won't take your vaccine or because you did this or did that or whatever the fuck it is. If a different person gets in power, maybe they're going to use it for something you don't support. It's just not something you're supposed to accept.
This is oddly ironic because Joe, previously in the two unfortunate, tragic Minneapolis ICE shooting, he actually was on ICE's side.
Regardless of how you feel. I don't feel like that guy should have been shot, but I understand what happened. And what happened was chaos. So what happened? First of all, it wasn't ICE. People need to understand that. It was Customs Border Patrol people. So they were brought in to assist ICE. And they're telling this lady to stand away. And then this cop gets very aggressive and shoves her. You have to understand the situation that they're in, right? And this is not making an excuse for any of it. But you have to just to put it into context. These people are getting harassed outside of any hotel they're at. People blow horns. They try to smash into the hotel.
They dox them.
They dox them. That's why they're wearing masks. It's a coordinated effort.
So which one is it, Joe? You're over here saying that there should not be any masked agents allowed in the street. But yet when these masked agents actually kill people, you come to their defense. So which one is it, Joe? Which one is it?
Will Iran still be able to control the flow of oil?
Be jointly controlled.
By who?
Maybe me. Maybe me.
You want the United States to
Me and the Ayatollah, whoever the Ayatollah is, whoever the next Ayatollah. Look, I find to be very reasonable, very solid. The people within know who they are. They're very respected. And maybe one of them will be exactly what we're looking for. Look at Venezuela, how well that's working out.
I mean, dude, this is such a fucking mess. This is such a mess, dude.
See, that what genuinely bothers me is like, what is so fucking funny? Every single Trump error, Joe, he says it out loud. He reads it out loud from fucking Perplexity, and then he just laughs at it. What's so funny about this, dude? If for the life of me, if it was Biden or Obama, he would be freaking tossing his headsets across the room. A blood vessel will pop. He would be going crazy if they did the same exact crimes that Trump is doing right now. He would be. And mind you, I did not like Biden whatsoever. So don't even give me that in the comment section. Okay, be fair with your critiques at least, you know. But yeah, he's over here telling us he's not either left or right, when all signs clearly show that this man is definitely, you know, not just right wing. This man's definitely still within MAGA. Like, and he's over here calling them dorks. What are we talking? Then he's the biggest dork of all time because he is the MAGA puppet. He is Trump's little puppet. If MAGA is currently dorks, according to Joe Rogan, then what does that make Joe Rogan himself? The supreme dork, the Ayatollah dork. Oh my God, dude. The hypocrisy with him is completely insane, man. Anyways, I think that's it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't got anything else to say. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat some Peruvian food. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat some Peruvian food, dude. Yeah, let me know what y'all think. If you disagree with anything that I said, Please let me know in the comment section. The fear mongering regarding immigration, don't come at me with that because it's the biggest load of bullshit I'll ever like. He's literally gonna sit here and tell me that a fucking terrorist is gonna win an asylum claim in front of a Trump-appointed immigration judge. That's virtually impossible right now. What the fuck is wrong with him? This man is clueless. I showed you the evidence. It is completely impossible right now. Only 90% of these cases are being won. And those are cases that are not just supremely strong, but I've submitted packets with at least 1,000 pages of corroborating asylum claim evidence. 1,000 pages. What is wrong with this dickhead, dude? He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Anyways, I'm out, dude. Peace.